How to be a sighted guide. Did you know there are almost 13,000 people registered as blind or vision impaired in Ireland? Some will occasionally need assistance in public or unfamiliar places. This short film will give you tips on how to help. Offering assistance. When you meet a person who is blind or vision impaired, first introduce yourself and then ask if they need assistance. Don't assume you know what the person wants without asking. Listen carefully to what kind of assistance, if any, is required. Walking. If you can render assistance, step alongside the person and offer your arm to grip just above the elbow. Assist the person on whichever side they prefer. This is usually the side opposite the guide dog or long cane, but this isn't always the case. Here's a closer look. It's important to remember not to grab the person, their long cane or the harness of their guide dog. You're now ready to act as a sighted guide. Walk at a pace the person is comfortable with. Describe any approaching hazards or changes in terrain, such as steps or curbs. At such obstacles, you should pause and stand alongside the person until they have negotiated it. Make it clear whether the step is up or down and whether it is one step or several. Occasionally, you may encounter narrow spaces or busy areas that require you walk in single file. Explain this to the person you are guiding and then drop your guiding arm behind your back. The person you are guiding will step in behind you. Giving directions. When giving directions, be as precise as possible. Give a specific direction, right or left, as it applies to the person you are directing. You should also provide some information about the terrain. Over 80% of those registered blind have some useful residual vision, but it's still helpful to describe hazards, obstacles, and landmarks on the route. Getting into cars. When guiding someone into a car, you should firstly explain whether the car is facing left or right and whether there is a curb. Place your guiding hand on the door handle and let the person you are guiding slide their hand down your arm till they find the handle. They can then open the door and get in. Make sure they don't bump their head. You should allow the person to close the door themselves. If the person is travelling with a guide dog, the person will get into the car first and the dog will typically sit at their feet. Alternatively, the dog can go in the boot. It's good practice to ask the guide dog owner whether they would prefer to sit in the front or back. Most times, the front seat is more suitable and the driver of the car can move the front seat as far back as possible. Going up and down stairs. When guiding someone on stairs or steps, first explain whether they go up or down. As you approach the first step, pause and say "step up" or "step down." Use your guiding hand to direct the person to the handrail. You should pause to let the person locate the first step. It is recommended that you walk ahead of the person when going downstairs and behind the person when walking upstairs. You can assist by providing verbal cues explaining when you've reached the top or the bottom. Doors. Firstly, describe how the door opens, to the right or to the left, towards you or away from you. It's easiest if the person you're assisting is on the hinge side. Open the door. As you walk through, the person should follow your hand and hold the door open before following you through. If the person has a guide dog, it may be better if you hold the door open while they walk through. Guiding to a chair. Before guiding someone to a seat, describe the chair. Does it have wheels, arms, and a back? Is there a table in front? You should then place the hand of your guiding arm on the back of the seat. The person you are guiding can find the seat by following your arm. In a row of seats, sidestep along together until the person is in front of their seat with the backs of their knees touching it. They can then sit down. When you are finished guiding someone, you should tell them where they are now and ask if they need any further assistance. Always tell the person when you have finished providing assistance and are about to depart. Serving someone in a restaurant. As a member of the service staff in a restaurant, you should greet a blind or vision impaired person like you would any other patron. Introduce yourself, giving your name and function. Remember to speak directly to the person, not a sighted companion if there is one. Be prepared to help the person to a seat if they request it. Ask the patron about their seating and lighting preferences. Depending on their specific eye condition, some would prefer brighter lighting and others less lighting. Once seated, ask the person if they would like a description of the area and specifically what is on the table. If so, give precise descriptions such as, on your right side there's a glass. Offer to read out the menu if necessary. When the meal is ready, the waiter or waitress should approach the table, identify themselves and say they are about to put the plate down. During the meal, the server should check the table regularly. Be sure to announce your presence. The server should also speak to the person before clearing the table. If the patron requests that food be cut in a specific way, this should always be done in the kitchen. When it's time to pay the bill, present it directly to the patron and say clearly what the amount is. In returning change, place it directly into the person's hand and count out each bill individually. Similarly, you should place a credit card directly into the person's hand. When the bill is paid, ask the patron whether they require any further assistance. Guide dog etiquette. Now a few words on how to behave around guide dogs. The best thing is to ignore the dog completely and avoid eye contact. You should never pet, feed or distract a guide dog in any way, as this may put its owner in danger. Remember, the animals are not pets but highly trained working dogs. You should also never grab the dog's harness or try to tell the dog what to do. That's the owner's job. We've reached the end of our film. By remembering these tips, you'll be able to assist blind or vision impaired people in a variety of scenarios. Thank you for watching.